my little pond.
Fitter. Olive, komm mal. Komm schnell. Komm mal. Komm. Olive, komm. Komm, mach. So, komm.
Fitter and Olive are absolutely fine. And some of you might wonder what furniture I found for my dining room. So I found a beautiful cupboard on one side and another narrow cupboard on the other side.
So. Guten Morgen, Lulu. So.
I made burgers yesterday on my barbecue and it was fantastic, delicious. So. Here. I have a very beautiful side table for the back of my shed. I'm going to show you right now, and this is the perfect size for my side table. Come and have a look. Oh, that. Very good. So. And What do you think about my pond?
was. Dat zie je op de kerk.
Ja. Good morning to everyone. No, I didn't have a sleepover here. Welcome again back to the Swiss plot. I know some of you have been waiting for an update, so finally I got around to do this video just to show you where I am now with my little house and my garden. So I'll show you around. Let's do a bit of a garden tour. Yeah. As you can see, my shed is still standing, and I've put some flowers around. I've got here the wisteria in the corner, which isn't growing much. I thought it's growing faster, but it hasn't moved. But it's still alive, at least. And over there at the back, at the corner, you show my, where's my finger? Ah, here it is. I've got my climbing rose. It's called, I think, Eden Rose. It didn't climb so much, but maybe I have cut it down the wrong way. I've planted this rose in memory of my mom. Unfortunately, she passed away last year, almost exactly a year ago. Yeah, she's developed lung cancer, unfortunately, and from the diagnosis to her final moment, it was a rather short time. Yeah, mainly a reason as well that I didn't have time to do filming, or I wasn't in the mood either, so yeah. The last year, or more than last year, was rather challenging in many ways, I think, for everyone. But yeah, losing my mom was unexpected so early. She was only 69. But that's how life is. All right, then let's continue. We're at the back of the shed. My lavender has grown really, really nicely. A beautiful row. It will look fantastic in a short time. And I've got a very special side table for myself. I found that on the flea market a few months ago, and I didn't know what to do with it. So I thought, okay, I have to buy it anyways, and then I will figure it out. Then I took a piece of timber and painted it white and placed it inside. And there we go. I can place my drinks, etc. It's grown really tall. They were such little plants when I bought them last year. And here at the back, my extra space for growing rapeseed this year. I'm shooting this now handheld. I'm sorry, I still didn't get myself a gimbal, and most likely I won't get one because, and here comes the bad news, I don't think I will do regular videos anymore. I even have a letterbox, and there's a reason for that, and I will explain later. So over here I have a lilac. It's still very smallish, but it will turn out nicely. It has a beautiful flower on it. And this is my hydrangea, and the little one is just about to grow up. And here I think it's a Deutzia. I have to check again. I've bought this as well. It's got beautiful flowers on it. I will show you on a close-up later on. My elderflower is also growing rather slow. But I had some flowers coming up. And I didn't harvest any, of course. It's too small for harvesting. But I already made my elderflower syrup. I made elderflower jelly. And today I'm going to finish my elderflower cream. So after filming this, I'm going to the flea market, which is here every month on the second Sunday. And then later on I will have a barbecue with my garden neighbor here. Talking about a barbecue, I haven't made an outdoor kitchen as I wanted originally, so I got myself this barbecue instead. I have to place the plates on top. I'll take them away usually because they are the most expensive part of this barbecue. I will show you later in a video. And here you can see I have got myself 2 raised beds. They are rather low. They were also rather cheap compared to normal raised beds. So I'll see how long they will last. I've ordered them online and they have delivered 2 wrong sizes. So out of the 2 wrong sizes I could make 3 beds. I made this round one here in the corner. I've put some strawberry plants in there and chamomile. I've been harvesting some of the chamomile already and drying them to make tea again. Having raised beds doesn't mean that you don't have slugs. They are still capable of climbing up here. And sometimes I think you just get them in by putting in the seedlings you buy from the shop. It seems like there are some eggs in there already. So I'm still using my slug collars. And yeah, the wild oregano is growing and growing, totally out of control. I've been trimming it back for many times already. My chives, my rosemary, and this plant I bought new. I hope it will self-seed. It's an Ehrenpreis. It's Candela. Oh God, I keep forgetting its name. It's a magnet for bees, apparently. Also, this little flower apparently is a magnet for bees. So I have put in quite a few plants that should attract insects. Oops. So in this raised bed I have my carrots. I have had radishes in here, but now I've sown more beetroot, which is growing nicely here. A little bit more space over here. Nothing has germinated yet. I had a beautiful harvest of asparagus, but it's finished now. I let them shoot up. And I also had a good harvest of my rhubarb. It's growing along nicely, however the stalks are rather thin. I have many thin ones rather than a few thick ones. More lavender here. And this flower is called Frauenmantel. I have to check that up. The poppies have self-seeded. I didn't plant them here. In spring I had beautiful daffodils and tulips here. I should have filmed a bit. Just wanted to catch that bee and now it's flying off. I've got a new water tank out of metal and I got rid of the blue plastic tank. It looks much better. I'm quite pleased with it. It comes from another neighboring garden, a gentleman who has been here for 50 years. He had to give up his plot and eventually I could take this water tank from his plot. The tomato house I started to renovate again because the windows were in a bad shape, so I had to put in the ceiling around the glass frames and then I still have to paint and redecorate. Yeah, forgot the onions and garlic over there. Let's go over there. Here I've got my onion bed, all looking good, and the garlic, I will be harvesting them soon, I guess. And yesterday I've planted some peppers. And over here my cucumbers. I've also cut lots of mint already, drying them, putting into dark jars and keeping it for making tea. This sage has come beautifully. Okay. Oh, I finally found a plant which apparently is happy to have it very dry and sandy. So hopefully this will survive here. There's one little hydrangea, I think, well, it's not dead, but it's not growing anywhere. It's quite a wild mix of flowers and bulbs, and yeah, I just let it be. Here are the raspberries. And here I've got my corn, my second bed of asparagus. Then I've got these nasturtiums. I just let it grow and I haven't anything else here. I had my potatoes in here last year, but they were disgusting. So I'm not doing potatoes anymore. That's it. Gladiola and my dahlias. Now look at the size of this lavender, blocking the whole path, which would be a problem if I would have an active neighbor. An active neighbor, that means my neighbor, my garden neighbor, is currently not really tending to the garden because I'm doing it for her since she had an operation and she must rest. So it's just bothering me, no one else. It's beautiful. And here I've got some fennel and my bed of courgettes and pumpkins, butternut pumpkin, not pumpkin, sorry, butternut. You're also familiar with my tunnel. That's my brassica bed. I've got broccoli and cauliflower and a few kohlrabi in between. Here I've got my climbing beans. I've put up the poles, but only 4 this time because I had too many beans. And I'm not working for all the other people who sometimes don't even appreciate if they get food for free. So I've been downsizing with my beans. And here on the left side I have my bush beans. And on the right side I will sow some more later on. These are my peas. You've seen on the video that I have harvested my 3 little jars. That's the first batch. But still I'm very pleased, and I think I will harvest the rest of it very soon. And Rudolph is showing up everywhere. I think it looks very pretty. And again, these poppies have self-seeded and they look fantastic. As long as they last. They don't last very long, unfortunately. Where is it? Oh, down there. No. Camera shy. What can I do? Here we go. My rubbish bed is still a bit of a rubbish bed. Well, what's the plan for it? I have no idea. I've got so many weeds coming. Weeds like one in particular, milchdistel, which is rather annoying. So I keep this very short, this grass and weeds here. However, I still planted some mint. I think I will put more mint so that can take over, hopefully. Then this blueberry bush I think will go eventually. I will replace it, maybe with another lilac. This is a fresh rosemary I've planted yesterday only. And here, this bush here is called a Schmetterlingsstrauch. I'll have to look this up. It's attracting butterflies. Then what I want to do is I want to add dead wood from the forest. I just collect some pieces and place it here like this root. I've got some peonies in the middle here, but they're not doing too well. This one is a bit of a poorly. I bought it that way. It was rather cheap. So let's see if it develops. It's a lilac as well. And I have planted some lavender in between. If they only would grow as tall, as big and strong like this down here, I'm very happy. The size of it is enormous. It will be a good harvest this year. Yeah, and here I'm not very happy with the whole thing anymore. Don't like it too much. I think I will get rid of everything and will make my parking space bigger so 2 cars can park next to each other. And I will take this down and I will just keep 2 of these baskets and will start to compost properly, because now these baskets for me are just like a dumping ground for all my cuttings, etc. But I didn't take care much of it. This is what the plot looks like now. So just to show you, this whole allotment has got 26 gardens. And the municipality don't want to take care of this anymore. They've been telling us, I think almost 2 years ago. that they don't want to do this anymore. So we had to make a committee. It's called like a Gartenverein. And yes, you guessed it right. I'm part of the founding members. I'm the secretary. And that's why I have my letterbox as well. As you know, further down there's the big allotment, and they have their own separate garden club, the committee. And we didn't want to be part of theirs. So nobody from down there is telling us up here what we can and what we cannot do in our gardens. So it's 5 of us who are running this allotment now. And yeah, we have 3 plots to give away. Are you interested? You've got a good connection now. To be honest with you, it's not even that easy to find a good gardener, because we don't want to be stuck with administration. We just want to garden really and keep it simple with these 26 gardens. I have set up a new Facebook group for this allotment site. It's not very active and I only have 9 members, but if you want to check it out, you can look at the description below. My garden neighbor Esther, she's 74. She's been a bit poorly now with her operation on her back. She cannot bend, and So I've been looking after this garden since the beginning of the year. And my other neighbor Ralph, he was doing the hard work, and I was planting everything and sowing everything and weeding. So let's have a look, because I've been looking after this now. Here we've got the onions. This is the sunflower corner. She always has sunflowers around her compost bin. And she also had a beautiful crop of asparagus. That's why I started to grow asparagus, because I've tasted hers once and I loved it. Now this first bed I took over completely. I've put in dahlias and gladiola. It will look amazing once they're all out. So this narrow row is the herb bed. In between the gaps I have sown some calendula. That will look nice. And here, some of the dahlias are opening up soon. Yeah. Here we've got bush beans. Just like at my place, I will sow these here later, so we have 2 harvests of bush beans. And the climbing beans are over there. I have covered this bed here because we're not using it right now. Then we have courgette and butternut here and here. And her fennel. And these are, how do you call them? This bed here was occupied with brambles. The guys took out the brambles, most of it at least, with heavy machinery, because it was full of brambles, the whole row. So now I've planted cucumbers here, and over there is broccoli. Over there at the end, I've planted some of my dahlias, the tubers I had. And here are her fruits, the red currants, gooseberry. I think she has white currants and blueberries at the end. And here is her raspberry row. Yeah, and we've covered this whole area with wood chips. We've put cardboard down, but I can see some weeds are coming through already. Just to keep it easy to maintain while she's away. talking about gooseberry, my gooseberry bush isn't growing nicely. It's not a good place for it. Let's have a look quickly. Yeah, it's looking rather sad. What I've planted here recently is a blue grape. The plan is to grow it up here and then trail it around the tomato house, just under the roof. I think I have to watch a few more of the videos from Clifford to check how to prune it once it has grown. This is Cosmea from seed I've planted here at my neighbor's. This is her mint. And also here I've planted some insect-friendly flowers. Also down there. And over here we have some chilies. And this is the brassicas, red and white cabbage and cauliflower. And the pointy cabbage. And here I've got chard, Swiss chard, and how do you call it? I'll get it when we get there. Her lettuce is quite something. And as well over there. I actually bought most of the plants in Austria, since I'm still driving back and forth to Austria. So most of the seedling I got from Austria. It's a bit cheaper there. And what I grow from seed is basically tomatoes, chilies, basil, and what else? Oh, I have the Cosmea. Yeah, but otherwise I'm not bothered anymore. I don't have the time to do all the seedlings, and it just occupies my dining room too much. Okay, so let's have a look in my neighbor's tomato house. Expect of 3 plants. These are all my tomatoes from seeds. Plus I have 3 peppers here that we bought. But it's looking all right. I think I have 8 different varieties of tomatoes here. And there will be 2 new varieties. One is called pineapple, ananas, which should be a beefy tomato with a yellowish color, yeah. In early spring we had some lettuces in here, and there's still one kohlrabi down there that needs to go out soon. Yeah, I've suggested to renovate this shed and paint it purple. Purple and grey. She was not too pleased with this idea. I think it would be too colorful for her. Yeah. Here we've got carrots, lettuces in between, the Swiss chard, more lettuce, and I still found the name now in English. This is horrible. I keep forgetting the names and words. Knollensellerie. Celery. Yeah. It's called celery, Stangensellerie and Knollensellerie. So it's celery in English, yes. More flowers here. And look at this. Cool, huh? I'm quite happy about this. It's a new tomato house in a different style than these old styles here, because it's made out of windows. I think it looks fantastic and very clever too, because he's put windows all around and he can open them up from the outside, so you don't need space inside to walk around. Yeah. So this was the garden tour. I also made this area look pretty, at least to my taste, pretty. Planting Kartäusernelke and other little flowers. They will show up nicely when they grow in spring next year. And here I've sown some sunflowers, but God, once it rained there were so many slugs, they kept eating them alive. The laundry is out again. And here I've also planted a bush, hopefully growing up tall enough to give some shade to this area. And yeah, these kind of buckets I'll find on the flea markets for good money. This one already had holes, so I could put in this Nelke. Don't know the exact name right now. I've replanted this pot yesterday. I took out the viola. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. And you will see a bit more of today's day. And yeah, that is it. Best to wear white when you take out the ashes.
obwohl man nicht darf. Steht es
Ja. So I'm ready to start a fire in a moment. It's quite hot now. Actually, it's almost too hot to have a barbecue at this time of the day. But anyways, we're gonna have a good meal. And this plate over here actually belongs over there because I've got a hole in there at the corner because I also can use the, no, how do you say, the grid? No, grill, the grill roast. Anyways, I want to have 2 hot plates in the front so I can move the fire forward. And this is just not sitting properly. But it's okay, I'm not going to use it. It's already hot. Okay, I leave that. Yeah. I took off the tablecloth. If you're gonna have a greasy meal with meat, then yeah, it's better. Now that's my find of today's flea market. I can put in plants in there. I'm gonna drill holes in the bottom and gonna pot it up someday. This has been cracking up a bit, so I'm going to give it some support. This I'm going to use as a vase. I can put in some flowers. I think I'm gonna... No, I'll leave it here in the front. And then we had an extra guest, so I stopped filming. I wanted to film, but now I just show you some stills, what it looks like on my beautiful barbecue, which I really love because you don't need to wait for the embers. You just can keep the fire going and it always will be hot around. And one more thing, I really want to thank everyone who tried to keep or get in touch with me, who was commenting on videos, and you didn't unsubscribe. I have still the same subscribers, which is amazing. Yeah, it feels nice to know that total strangers are actually thinking of you. I just hope you're all well, and I hope you have come through this horrible time well enough, yeah, and I just wish you all the best, but I'm not ready yet to give up this channel completely, but I can't promise you anything.